We are continuing our exploration of understanding the way in which shamans move from ordinary reality consciousness into non-ordinary reality consciousness. We've explored many different ways in which this is done in previous programs in this series. We've looked at dreaming. We've looked at spontaneous visionary experience. We've looked at the vision quest. We have looked at the use of psychotropic plants, and we have worked with understanding a little bit better the process of mediumship that shamans engage in as they're moving back and forth between ordinary and non-ordinary reality consciousness. And now I'd like to talk about the shamanic journey. And of course, the shamanic journey is a marvelous way to develop a relationship with the unseen powers of nature. It is time-tested and true. It's a way of working that shamans have worked with for millennia. And the shamanic journey is a process of altering the state of awareness through listening to a repetitive sound. Often it's a drum, often a rattle. It could be chanting. It could also be a mouth harp or a didgeridoo, but it's a repetitive sound that alters the state of awareness that then becomes that doorway that we've talked about, that shamans can step through into a non-ordinary state of awareness in order to establish relationships, again, with the unseen powers of nature. And again, it's through these relationships with these unseen powers of nature where what is called helping spirits take the form of a star or a bear or a lake and provide experience and guidance and understanding to the shaman to help them develop their skills so that they can better serve the community in which they live. And in fact, as I've said before, it is the helping spirits that are often doing the work of healing or divining or educating or providing an important ritual that the shaman is simply focusing their intelligence and their experience for them. And of course, learning how to focus that intelligence and that experience is the path of the shaman. It is what shamans are required to learn as part of their initiation into understanding shamanic practice. And the shamanic journey is a very important aspect of this initiatory process. And through the focused attention on repetitive sound, shamanic practitioners focus their intention inward to discover an inner cosmography that is quite similar to the external cosmography. There's a lower world, a middle world, and an upper world. And you can see the parallels there in the natural world, the world beneath the ground, the world on the ground where we are in the middle world, and then the upper world being the sky. And so within these worlds or realms where unseen powers of the natural world are met, the shamans have experience that is formed around questions that they have or around requests that they have. And it's important to note that shamans can have different types of experiences within this cosmography that may be helpful to not only their own healing and their own development, but in the healing and development of others. And this happens through the request for assistance of these unseen powers. And I'd like to describe a shamanic journey that was offered by Maria Sagalakova, a shamanic practitioner from a long line of shamans in the Caucasia region of Russia. And here she's talking about her experience of the journey. She says, Closing my eyes, I started the journey. I am traveling through the worlds of the universe, talking to spirits, looking through their eyes, letting them inside me. I am walking in circles, singing, laughing strangely, whispering, now imitating the sound of a babbling brook or the chirping of birds, or now talking to someone. I hit the drum with my rattle in the form of a tree leaf, symbolizing that the owner is the master of all the four elements. Above the heads of the talented people, I hit the top of the drum, and this is the higher world. My hands go up, and the shaman and I am whirling frantically. Above the heads of the more down-to-earth people, I beat in the middle of the drum, and this is the world of people and the spirits of nature. Above the heads whose souls are in the lower worlds, I beat the drum at the bottom of the drum, and this is the world of the underground spirits. Next to those, then I continue on my journey. So here she describes moving through the upper, middle, and lower worlds in a journey. And one of the things this is a good example of the way in which a journey might be practiced in a traditional setting. But here at the Sacred Stream, we work with the journey in a slightly different way than it's worked with in traditional settings. And because we call our program Applied Shamanism, because we are applying the wisdom of these ancient practices to the modern experience. And so one of the things that we do is we try to establish relationships with these unseen powers of nature in order to develop ourselves in a more transformative way. And this is one of the places where applied shamanism and Buddhist practice meet each other here at the Sacred Stream, where we're working with the tools of the journey with the intention of Buddhist practice, which is, of course, about self-evolution, self-development. And that's not to say that that's not part of shamanic practice, but in traditional shamanic practice, shamans are generally not working in a context where there's so much disruption or disorganization on a mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual level. And so they're often working with the helping spirits simply to understand the power of the helping spirits and understand how they work in assisting them in accomplishing their tasks for the community that they serve. But today we're living in a society where things are pretty disorganized and where we don't have older practitioners guiding us as we might have had in a more traditional setting. And so it's very important for us to be able to work with the intelligence and the power of these ancient systems to develop ourselves so that we can become more independent of the sort of chaos around us, and so that we can align ourselves with the helping spirits of nature and ask questions about our own situation. And this helps us develop ourselves more fully, helps us step into our power more fully, and helps us understand how, in becoming more organized around our gifts, that we can offer what we have best within us to help with this situation that is this calamity that is befalling us all. So in applied shamanism, we tend to work with the journey once we've established a relationship with a helping spirit to ask questions such as, what is the origin of my fear? Or what can you tell me about my anxiety? Or how do I establish a stronger relationship with my power? Or how do I understand the relationship with my sibling better? Or what do I need to know in order to be able to develop greater awareness more fully? These are the kinds of questions that we would work with in the journey here at, in the education system here. And it's something I teach you ways to go to the upper world and to the lower world in the shamanic journey class, where you can develop relationships with these helping spirits and begin to explore yourself more fully, understand yourself more readily, and begin to really understand what you have to offer and how shamanic practice can assist you in offering the world your gifts and the best that you have within you. So the shamanic journey is a wonderful tool to help you step into this larger way of being. And all of these practices that we have described here in this series are ways that you can learn more about yourself, learn more about the world around you and the world within you. And I wish you the very best on your path in doing that.